And so also if you're letting your x be 2 tangents, your dx is 2 secant square. And so what this will become then is your dx, which is your 2 secant square dt, your x squared plus 4, which is the 4 secant square. And you notice the secant squares cancel, and the 4's cancel, so you have 2 dt, which is 2t, and then where tangent t is x over 2, t is going to be the arctangent. So you're going to end up with your 1/2 arctangent x over 2. The 2 into the 4 goes 2. So then let's look at 17. We have, again, the sum of squares. So if x is 2 tangent t, you'll have 4 tangent square plus 4. Your dx will be 2, derivative of tangent is secant square. Your x squared plus 4 would be 4 tangent square plus 1, which is 4 secant square. So your square root will become 2 secant. So your denominator here will go to 2 secant, and if your x is 2 tangent, you're cubing that, so you'd have 8 tangent cubed, and then your dx would be 2 secant square. So this in blue is this one. So then what you have, you notice, is the 2 would cancel, the secant would cancel, so you have the 8 that I factored out, the secant, and the tangent cubed. And so I've come down here with it, and to do the secant tangent cubed, what I do is I factor the tangent cubed into tangent, square, and tangent. And then I replace the tangent square with secant square minus 1. So I have this 8 is here. My tangent square is secant square minus 1. My secant is here, and I put it with the tangent, because if u is secant, so this is u squared minus 1, secant tangent dt is du. So finally my integral here is 8 u squared minus 1, all this is du, which I wrote up here. And so the u was secant then, as I did it, and my du, secant tangent dt, was this part. So then I integrate u squared to get u cubed over 3, and this to get u, and then I substitute back to write the answer in terms of secant. But I still have to get back to x. So you see there's a double substitution here. There was a u substitution to do the integral that was tangent cubed times secant, where I split it up first like this, and then let the tangent square become secant square minus 1, and then called the u the secant, and so on. And I had got into secant and tangent, by making that substitution that x was 2 tangent to get from here because of the square root sign. So I still have to get back to x, where I had let tangent t equal x over 2. So here's my triangle. Here's my x, my 2. My third side, sure enough, is the square root part that we got into all this trying to avoid. And then I can look at this and I can see how to write cosine and therefore how to write secant. So I can replace I can factor my 8/3 and write my secant cubed as secant square and secant. So here's my secant. And then I can write my secant over here. And so I now have the square root as a common factor. And the 8 here is canceled. And so then I have x squared plus 4 over 3. And I take this 2 into the 8, so I have 4. And then I can get this over common denominator. And so this is what the book has. So there's quite a bit of algebra here and quite a bit of trickery, but I can actually get to what they have. Okay, then just a minute, I want to get my sign-up sheets.